don't have to be an accountant. You don't have to be a degree holder. You don't have to be a whiz at spreadsheets. But if you own a business, you need to have a base understanding of what is going on in your numbers.
Yeah.
Business should serve your life, not own it or disrupt it or ruin it. To add that amount of pressure into my relationship and my home life, that made the proposition even more unattractive.
What do you reckon the next 5 years hold for Chris and SME?
I plan over the next, say, call it 5 years, because that's probably about the right time frame, to have a positive impact and to help in some way 10,000 small business owners in the UK.
And I think people, when they start a business, they are of that mindset of, I want this vision. I want to be able to go away for a month and not have to worry about anything. And then a couple of years into it, you're like, I haven't had a day off in 2 years.
Very common.
Welcome to Working On It, the podcast for service-based business founders who want to scale without burning out. Today's guest is Chris Archer. Chris Archer built and sold CA Window Systems and now runs SME Success Group, helping business owners systemize, scale, and take back control. Thanks for listening, and now let's get into it. Chris.
Hello.
Thanks very much for coming on Working On It.
My pleasure.
Yeah, no, it's a real pleasure having you on, so thank you very much. What I wanted to speak about was business, systems, experience, and how to leverage those systems and kind of buy back your time.
How long have we got?
yeah. Well, we've already had breakfast and that's like 1 hour gone.
Yeah.
Seemed in 5 seconds. So C&A Window Systems,
Mhm.
Why did you sell it? And then how did you feel once you did?
I think why did we sell it? I'm gonna have to take you back into a little bit of why we had it.
Okay. Yeah.
So just
Go
the
back to the
headline
beginning. It's the best way.
to give you that answer. I'm going to start at the end though. The reason we sold it is because we'd become a little bit fractured at the top as shareholders. C&A Window Systems was a family started and run business. Myself and my very good friend from school started the company together, and our partners, my wife and his partner, were involved in the business as shareholders. And we traded very well for a number of years, and we started to ask questions about where the business was heading, where we were heading as shareholders, and we didn't have a unanimous sort of goal or path together. And at which point it was better for the business to not have that sense of uncertainty.
Right.
So we weren't at that point able to give the business what it needed. And a lot of the good work that we'd done, actually, it came a smidge undone. We were in a fortunate enough position, though, that we were able to source and secure a trade buyer for the business who had appetite to take it further. We'd also reached a point where with any business, there's speculation to accumulate. You have to put in to get out, and the business needed some reinvestment. We were on the back end of 2023. We'd sort of resumed normal service following the boom of 2020 to 22.
Yeah.
And to take the business to that next level, we would have had to put, to secure some investment. But as even a 5% fractured committee at the top, when you're talking about securing a round of funding for a business, the minute you add in that level of uncertainty, it becomes a much less attractive proposition. If you've got everybody at the top going, yes, we're 100% in, let's go, we're all on board, we're all singing from the same song sheet and pulling in the same direction, you'd feel confident. There was another layer to this, whereas, as I just mentioned, we are a husband and wife, me and my wife, very good friends, and him and his partner were involved as well. When you talk about securing funding, you add risk to personal lives.
Right, yeah.
Personal guarantees,
Pressure.
additional stress, pressures, all of that kind of stuff. So there was also an element for me, as somebody that, I'm a firm believer that a business should serve your life, not own it or disrupt it or ruin it. To add that amount of pressure into my relationship and my home life, that made the proposition even more unattractive. So it was better for the business, better for myself, my relationship, my family, to move on from it.
Right.
So I hope that answers the question of
Yeah,
why
yeah,
we sold it.
yeah, yeah.
And
Very good.
the second part of your question there is, how did I feel afterwards? It was 50% gut-wrenchingly disappointed and 50% completely elated.
Because gut wrenching, because
7 years of hard work, blood, sweat, tears, seeing an acorn grow into an oak tree over that period of time, relationships, the
yeah,
network we'd built, the fun times, the good times, the bad times, the sad times, all of those kind of things. There is an emotional attachment to your business. You can't deny that.
yeah,
So to see that, disappear a hell of a lot quicker than it started was gut-wrenching and disappointing. But being able to go home and spend some time with my wife and kids and be physically present and mentally present for a little while was, I think, exactly what I needed at that time.
right, yeah. So you kind of saw both sides of it in a sense, but at the same time was able to enjoy the best sides with family and a bit of free time and perhaps thinking time.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. That's the elation, that's the happiness part. It's being able to be a human, after a few years of being so attached to a business. And anybody that runs a company, you'll know how much it demands of you.
yeah,
But I think also mine had got to the point where it was demanding more of me, or so much of me, that I was forgetting to, recall my family's demands on my
mm,
time, which are the most important ones to me. So
yeah,
to be able to put that back on the table was fantastic.
yeah, yeah. You can see that. That's like it really sort of lends perspective, doesn't it, with that sort of decision and having that thinking time. But yeah, gives you some clarity, definitely. But where do you think your passion comes from helping business owners? And I think, is it that thinking time of you experiencing that nice time and thinking, do you know what, actually family and having this time to yourself and a life is more important than running a business? Do you think it come from that experience or do you reckon it come from something before?
As a business owner in the construction industry, or very specifically, we manufactured high-end luxury aluminium glazing. Now I like that. I like the industry. I like the products. I like the construction side of things. But over the last couple of years of owning the business, my passion for how a business actually runs, regardless of the product, started outweighing my passion for the product.
Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, what I'm finding now is that businesses start because of the owner's passion for a product, or because of their skill set or their ability to do a thing, which is exactly my story. It's exactly the same. And I started to see myself in, I'm going to say everybody, but 90% of the people that I was speaking to that were
Yeah.
business owners, they started because of their profession.
Yeah.
So where I then became, hugely interested in how a business ecosystem sits independently from the product or from the service, I found a whole new passion.
Mm.
And I've researched, I've learnt, I've watched, I've done, I've been involved in the ecosystem of running a business since then, and it's a never-ending exploration.
Yeah.
But when I can then see myself in so many other people, and they are in the situation that I was in, which is started because they're good at, I call it the thing that the business does, not so good at running a business. That original goal of a business that serves your life, gives you the freedom, the 20 days holiday a year in sunny locations, is so far away from being a reality. So my passion is to help people prevent that trap.
Mm.
And we were saying earlier over breakfast, I love people. I love being around people. I love talking to people. I love helping people. And if I can help people, with the thing that I love, that's a double win.
Yeah,
So that's where it comes from.
definitely. Yeah. I think with the so we always make the mistake of thinking it's funny actually because do you know Brad Sugars from Action Coach?
I think I've seen his
He's
socials.
actually very similar, also very tall. So you're very similar in a couple of ways, but he has the same vision and the mindset of understanding. Look, okay, all you've done is if you're doing something you know you can do well, is all you've done is just created yourself a job.
Mhm.
But the business is a completely separate beast in the sense that you have to have systems, you have to leverage people's time and build a community in your business and be able to, like you say, have the business serve you, not the other way around. And I think people, when they start a business, they are of that mindset of, I want this vision. I want to be able to go away for a month and not have to worry about anything.
Mm.
And then a couple of years into it, you're like, I haven't had a day off in 2 years,
Very common.
but I can't see light at the end of the tunnel. But I think it's like what you say and the stuff that you do, I think will really bring awareness to understanding that. But one of the things that Brad Sugars mentions is that because he buys businesses of any industry. So he had like a recruitment agency, but he also got a cleaning business and loads and loads of other businesses. But he has a core area, 5 areas that he has to implement or tools that he implements into a business. And he buys a business, implements his tools. They could be delivering anything of any service, any industry, and it works every time. And all he does is has his 5 tools and he puts them in, makes them run smoothly, has KPIs, dashboards, etc. And that's it. And he has like 7 businesses, or one might have more or less. But last time we had like one of his events, he mentioned that at the time he had 7 businesses, turn over hundreds of millions of pounds, and he works 2 days a week,
Mm.
and he manages all 7 of them, hundreds of millions of pounds each. So you think it can be done,
Yes.
but it's understanding, like what you said, sort of like the structure of it all, the core elements of the business, of any business that you can implement into any industry, and it just works.
Mhm.
And is that what you're working on?
Pretty
Those sort
much.
of tools?
Yep. 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 So I've taken, I have 6 key areas that
Okay.
I talk about.
Okay. What are they? Interesting to compare.
Yeah. Okay. So the first thing that I always speak to people about is what impact your business is designed to have on your life, on your customer's life, on the industry that you serve in, on the geographical location that you're in. Now, whether this is a day one setup or whether this is 2, 3, 10 years in, it's about alignment or realignment. Because it's very easy if you've been trading for a long time to understand what you've got to do, but also to forget why you're doing it in the first place.
Yeah.
So this is a very short section, but it's just refreshing the idea. Also, there's an opportunity in here to make sure that you're not a highly driven and enthusiastic entrepreneur trapped in the wrong business plan, or you're a slightly underqualified entrepreneur trapped in a too demanding business plan. So this is just realigning with what you're doing, why you're doing it, why it matters. There is a ninja hack here.
Okay. So that's pretty deep,
It
but
is.
yeah,
It is. But
very insightful.
the ninja hack is once you understand this, it then lends itself, that information, into your marketing material, into your sales pitches, into understanding your customer profile. Because if you can tell someone with confidence and conviction why what you're doing matters, it's much more believable. You'll build much more trust. And when you deliver on that, you really make an impact. And that's what people are buying from you.
Yeah, that's so true. Is that one step?
That's the first.
As I say, that's a big one.
That could be
That's a big one.
that could be a half-hour step with a napkin and a biro,
Yeah.
or it could be a week's worth of re or self-discovery.
Mm. Okay. Number 2.
You want more?
Yes. Come on.
So 2 to 6 are the key areas of running a business. The key areas of running to business: strategy and planning. What are you going to do? How are you going to do it? What are you going to do? And what do you need to achieve it? So that's the very basis of a business plan. And again, this could be a napkin and a biro, or it could be a 700-page document.
Mm.
The reality is, if it's a 700-page document, you're not going to follow it.
Yeah.
If it's a whiteboard with, some sort of vision board or some sort of goals or markups or check-in points, you're much more likely to achieve it. Also, this is tangible, so it will evolve with the business, but you have to know how you're going to achieve your desired impact. So you'll see this flow through.
Yeah.
Then you move on to your customers. Owning a business isn't specifically about doing what the business does. It's about finding the customers that need, want, and are going to benefit from what you're offering.
Mm.
So your business should serve others. If it doesn't serve others, it's going to have no customers, it'll have no revenue, and there's no point. So you have to be customer centric. So in part of your customer strategy, I call it CACR, which for some reason I like to say in a Norfolk accent. So it's kind of like cacker. I don't know why. That's just developed.
Okay.
But customer attraction, conversion, and retention. You have to be able to find, you have to be able to close, and you have to be able to keep customers.
Okay.
So all of those are systems that you can build within your business. So it's your customer management system, if you like.
Mm.
So essentially it's your marketing system, how you're going to go to market, who you're going to find, what kind of demographic, the psychographics of the customer that you need to bring into the business, and figure out how to target them effectively. There's a lot of noise in marketing at the moment with various gurus and agencies and funnels and all the stuff that Instagram is telling you, but the core things that underlie that is the ability to find the right customers and bring them into your business. So I try and cut through a lot of that noise with that.
Yeah, yeah. And there's just on that, recently I heard a thing where like you got that that thing that everyone goes on about, like find what you love and just do that. You're like, but nobody might want to buy what you love. So that's why you have to understand that if you want to monetize it, then you have to have the customer or the audience to sell to. And then if you love it, great. That's cherry on top. In a sense, it's almost like having an idea and then making sure that there's customers that are going to purchase that and engage in your vision, if you like. And then most of the time, like you said, if you're really passionate about it, you're going to love it anyway. So yeah, that's pretty, and that's number 3.
Number 3, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Number 4.
Number 4, awareness of your numbers.
Yes.
You don't have to be an accountant. You don't have to be a degree holder. You don't have to be a whiz at spreadsheets. But if you own a business, you need to have a base understanding of what is going on in your numbers.
Yeah.
So this is what I'm not an accountant. I'm not a degree holder or any of those things. But if you own a business, at least train yourself on how to read a P&L, how to understand a balance sheet, and know what your accountant is telling you. The vast majority of small business owners I speak to, their financial strategy is to have their accountant come in once a year, put 2 signatures on a piece of paper, and hope it's okay. Find out how much tax they've got to pay. The problem with that is that when your accountant comes round, he might as well be speaking to you in Chinese because you have no idea the language that they're using. So you have to have a basic understanding of your numbers, how to manage some cash flow, how to run a P&L, and how to run a balance sheet, and how to price properly.
Yeah.
So those are the kind of key elements that I help with. Anything out of that is above my station.
Yeah.
But you have to know at least those things. You have to know that you're going to make a margin and know what to do with the margin when you've got it.
Yeah, and I got taught that actually, and that was a very, very valuable lesson, because then it was like sometimes you'd think I've got more staff, but my net profit is a lot less, and sometimes you'd have less staff and your net profit is a lot higher. Like, well, how can you tell? Where's the context to that? But it's only when I got taught to understand them that now it kind of runs parallel to each other. So okay, if I want to grow in this area, I need to pull this lever. If I want to cut back this lever, and so on. So that's very, very important. I can speak with experience. That is a very important factor, that one, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 5.
Number 5. So only once you've got all of those things in place should you then be looking at leverage.
Okay.
I'm just going to take a moment. So this is my I.S.C.A.L.E, I.S.C.A.L.E. This is my business growth framework.
Okay. Is that a northern accent, or is that
No, this is no, this is my normal common Essex accent. Your impact, your I, and we're going on.
Yeah.
So systems and planning, strategy and planning, customers, awareness of your numbers, L, leverage. This is when you can really start to leverage tools, leverage people, build a team, build some accountability. And once you've built systems into the business to manage all of the previous steps that are going on, you can leverage people to run them for you. One thing that I've learned over the years through doing and through researching is it's business that grow people, but as a primary function, systems grow businesses. People run systems. So if you're looking to grow your business, grow the system, grow the area of your business that you need to grow, and then grow the team to run the systems. Systems are far more reliable than people.
Mm-hmm.
You can train people on a system. Somebody that's experienced this, if you bring somebody in as a person without a system to follow to grow your business, you are hugely at risk, because when that person leaves, they take away everything. If you have a system implemented that someone runs and they leave, you can retrain on the system. So you focus on the system first, then the people.
Yeah, that's is that from personal experience?
Personal experience,
You seem
getting it
like
wrong.
super passionate about that one.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
And this is, this is inherently the problem. This is founders, solopreneurs, owner MDs. They run their businesses based on their ability to run it from what's going on in their head. And the business only really works when the owner MD is at work.
Mm.
It's not a ninja hack, this is just how it is. When the business can run on the systems, whether the owner MD is in the building or not, that's when you can start thinking about scaling and those, month-long holidays in Spain.
Mm.
Because the business is going to run, because your systems of running a business produce repeatable and predictable outcomes. People inherently produce unpredictable and sometimes completely chaotic outcomes.
Mm. Yeah, very true. Yeah, depending on their moods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So systems grow businesses, people run systems.
Okay. Last one.
E,
Okay.
exit or evolution. Have a strategy.
Okay. Like an exit date.
Not a date, a
Not a date.
strategy. It doesn't have
Right.
to, and this is tangible, but you have to think about it, in my opinion.
Okay.
Now, an exit or evolution, when you're younger, just getting into being self-employed, the trajectory that most people take is employee, deciding you're going to work for yourself, go self-employed, deciding that you can run a business better than the people that run the business that you work for, start a business. And if you would map that out back to your younger self, you'd say, yeah, I'm going to run a business, and then I'm going to be an investor. I'm going to go and buy loads of property. I'm going to buy other businesses. I'm going to, have it running for me. What you've created there is an exit plan or an evolution plan. But when it gets to that point, when you're in those shoes, the exit plan's almost gone out of the window and you forget it ever existed. If you originally had a plan to make your business self-sufficient, so you could pop by a day a week or go and buy some property or go on a month-long holiday, work towards it. Because if you don't plan for that exit or evolution move, you just end up doing forever. And that's a job.
Yeah.
That's a job. So whatever your end strategy is, and your end strategy might just be, it could be really simple. It could be to drop to 4 days a week and know that everything's not going to fall apart on a Friday. But at least then you've got something that you need to work towards.
Yeah, that's right.
I like to describe this. Imagine getting in your car and in the sat nav just putting the word somewhere.
Yeah.
Or getting in an aeroplane and you've got to fly to a particular destination. You have to plan your route. Otherwise you could end up, degrees off and in a different country.
Yeah.
But your destination is to land that plane. It's to put a postcode in rather than the word somewhere. Get there and celebrate it. You've made it.
Yeah.
But just make sure you've got somewhere to point.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's right. So those 6 key areas, I mean, so I'll be honest, usually on the on previous podcasts. So I started the podcast, have like conversations, and like, I've got like a few questions to hit off and stuff like that, and cover off, and then the conversation flows, and so on. But those 6 key areas there, that's really profound what you just mentioned there.
It's taken me a long time to sort this out.
I'm actually like, geez, I've learned so much just from this 10 minutes. I was like, that's it, cut. That's pretty much it. That's amazing. But how did you get to that point? Like, have you studied this? Like, I mean, because you've run a business with a window supply company,
Correct.
and has all of it come from your experience there, or courses, development, so on, either side or during? Like, I mean, that's really deep what you've got there. I mean, like, I've had a business coach, and my business coach would know all this sort of stuff, and he'd be speaking like you're speaking, with the experience and history and the knowledge. But he was 61. You and I are both 32.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. And I'm definitely going to come back now.
Like, how did you get that? Like, because that's a solid foundation. That is solid.
I would say it's a mix of years of cuts and bruises. It's some things that I've done well, some things that I haven't done well, that I can now say that I wish I did better.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to admit that. It's aggressive research and constant deep diving into what a business is, what the role of an owner is. I don't put this down. This is every day. This is my passion. It's my vocation. It's my profession now. And because I've got that great mix of all of those things, I enjoy. I really enjoy, genuinely enjoy what I do. I enjoy researching it. I enjoy learning. I enjoy trying. Over the last little while, I've been able to, I do quite a bit of consulting as well, and I take these principles into businesses and I see them make differences. These aren't just principles; they're strategies, they're systems.
Yeah. That's something, because I've run businesses as well. That's how I know these are solid. Like, you tick all of these off and do it well, or to a good level, you're gonna have a good sound business, without a doubt. And that's why I ask. I'm like, how did you get it? It's crazy.
Yeah, it's quite a lot of work. A lot of work has gone into it. It's taken up a big portion of my life.
Yeah.
But I've also tried to just condense it into what I really believe. If you are let's just call it a small business owner, 1 to 20 staff, solopreneur, founder, owner, MD.
Yeah.
I think you need to know these.
Yeah.
Because if you
I
do,
agree.
the difference that you can make in your business and your life, because let's not forget the life bit.
Yeah. That's the thing. Because you've got these key areas, if you tick all of these boxes, you will be able to do what you want to do.
That's the goal.
And that's why. But it's only because, I mean, I've not studied it as much as you have, but as you've ticked it off, I'm like, okay, yeah, I've got that, I've done that, and my experience, it's almost like that's exactly what I've and still trying to do as well with my company. It's like, it's exactly the same thing, but as I've developed and got time off and so on, as you buy back your time and your life, I had to do those things, but you've got a good system for it. That's a real sound system.
Thank you.
And that's it. So with systems, so why do you think they're so important and the difference that they make?
If your business, I don't know, let's just take any business, for example. Let's take a business that is a bakery. You have X amount of customers come into your door on a daily basis to buy your goods and services. You bake them all in the kitchen and in the back. Can you imagine, as a customer, walking into that bakery on a Monday and you get the best croissant that you've had in the last month? And then on the Tuesday you come in expecting that same croissant and it's burnt, or it's not ready, or it's different. And you said to the owner, oh, this is really different. Like, the one I had yesterday blew me away. Oh yeah, we've got a different person in the kitchen today. Sorry about that. That is a very quick example of how systems
Yeah.
can make a big
Such a
difference.
simple way of putting it.
So now we reframe that, and I own the bakery, and my system is that regardless of who is doing it, this is what time the croissants go in the oven. This is what time they come out. This is where they go. This is, step by step, how we produce Monday's result. Because I want Monday's result. I've designed Monday's result as the way that my business sells croissants.
Mm.
And I want to be able to produce that every day of the week so that when my customers come in, they get repeatability, they get confidence. How many people would come in on Tuesday, get the poor quality croissant, and then refer their friend?
Well, not many, if any.
None. Because, oh yeah, I had a decent one and then it got a bit
Yeah.
rubbish. Now, again, reframe that. I've had the best croissant and it's the same every day. I can guarantee you, go and get one of these, it's going to blow you away.
Mm.
And then the friend goes, what happens? The simple system of baking croissants in the same repeatable way is the best way I can give you this example.
Mm.
And then your job as the owner is to design the system and make sure people follow it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And that's, I suppose, in a service-based business,
Mhm.
that would be playbooks, scripts, follow-ups, or not that deep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like whoever picks up the phone,
Yep.
they're getting the same tone of voice that
Yep.
the company's designed to deliver.
Exactly that.
Yes. Okay.
Exactly that. Yeah. Now, if you've got 3 or 4 people that answer, let's say use your example there, the main line coming into the business, the main landline. I'm customer A, and I call up and I get, hi, XYZ business here, Chris speaking. How can I help? And then I call up on the Tuesday and I get someone else. Hi, can I help you? Oh, that's an inconsistency.
Mm.
2 people said different things. Now, immediately, I now know that business isn't relying on systems and processes; it's relying on individuals. So I'm going to get an inconsistent result here.
Yeah.
So I'm viewing this from the perspective of the owner of the benefit, but also the owner needs to view this from the benefit and the perspective of the customer. We need to build trust with these guys, with these people, so that they come back, buy again, and refer us. We don't want inconsistent results. And this can be as simple as the way you answer the phone, how you direct the call, how you reply to emails, how you quote and make your offer for your services, how you deliver is, the most important one probably, to ensure a consistent and repeatable result, no matter who is on site.
Yeah. They're pretty deep, aren't they?
But also really simple,
Yeah.
really simple. And, I'm going to come back to what I said about how systems run businesses and
Yeah.
people run systems. I design systems with owners using 3 key areas. So every system is the way that your business does a thing, the way your business produces that result. And what you need to know is what the best practice is going to be and what the desired outcome is. And then you can break that down further, and then you get the processes. So as an example here, let's just say we were building a sales system. So the sales system in the business is we receive a lead, we communicate with them within 24 hours to qualify.
Yeah.
We return our quote within 48 hours, and then we follow up until it either closes or closes down. So then you build the processes. So I'm now going to train my staff on how to run the processes. And I'm going to say, here, team member, a new leader's come in. This is exactly step by step, the 5 or 7 steps, whatever it's going to be, that you are going to take to make sure that this lead is logged and qualified and ready to quote for example. Now, if that staff member is following those steps every time, you're doing 2 things. You're guaranteeing the result for the customer, and you're guaranteeing the result for the business. And if it goes wrong, you've either got a problem with the process or a problem with the person. And it's generally not a problem with the person, it's a problem with the training.
Yeah.
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 How much easier would it be to train somebody on a 7-step process than to train them how to log an inquiry with nothing written down?
Yeah. Well,
Impossible.
Systems is, yeah, exactly,
Exactly,
yeah.
yeah. So for each process, you would, or for each area of the system, a lead is logged. This is the 5 to 7 step process. A lead is qualified. This is the 3 to 5 step process. A quote is sent. This is the 5 to 7 step process for sending a quote. And here's the template to do it.
Yeah.
And now the quote is followed up. Here's the 3 to 5 step process with the call scripts, with the email scripts, with the dates on, when we follow up. That's repeatable.
Do you know, it's so much like, it's like you're like England's version of Brad Sugars. That's exactly that's exactly how he simplifies it. Because when you go onto these events, he literally goes, right, get your pens ready. We've got 30 minutes. I'm going to tell you how to build a business. And he literally just goes, bang, 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 bang. Do you know what I mean? Like exactly as like you said, but he systems, I guess, for speaking about systems is also structured, because he literally goes from the beginning to the end and goes, right, yeah, these scripts, bang, 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 do you know what I mean? A whole lot. And I think that's why I ask, because it's almost like you've got 20, 30 years of experience, but perhaps you've crammed your knowledge into a shorter space of time because you've been so aggressive and so passionate about it, that I think it's showing anyway, for sure, because that's a great system. So yeah.
I'm an aggressive learner.
Yeah.
A really aggressive learner.
So you marked yourself down as a problem solver. What do you reckon?
Demonstrably through my work experience, I'm not very good at just being told this is what to do, because I am infinitely curious
As to why bubbles are in water, or
well, yeah, for those listening, I cannot tolerate sparkling water.
yeah.
This is a conversation Brad and I have been having. It shouldn't even be on the planet.
Yeah.
But no, I'm not curious about sparkling water. We know I don't like that.
Yeah.
I am infinitely curious to the point where, yes, this is just what happens, but why? But why does it happen like this? What's the desired result of this process? Why does this thing happen like this? And why are we just accepting that's how it is? And can it be made better? Can it be improved? Are we just going to continue to accept that this is how things happen and that's it forever? Or are we completely shutting the door to any opportunity to evolve and get better? So for me, it's not about perfection. It's about the constant desire for progression. And when you have a constant desire for progression, you encounter hurdles and roadblocks. And those are the problems that I love solving.
Yeah.
I love solving the problem of how can we make this better? If
Curious.
Yeah, I'm infinitely curious.
Yeah. Yeah.
How can we do this? When we stop asking why, I think that's a sorry day.
It's funny because, so like, what do you think makes sort of like a person, like an entrepreneur or business owner, want to finally step out of their day-to-day, or embark on that challenge? What kind of characteristics do you think they might have or would have?
What, to embark on the challenge of business, or to embark on the challenge of making themselves
Business owners
free of it?
Business owners to begin with, because that's normally the start of the journey, isn't it? You think, okay, I want to own a business, I want to be able to do this, and so on and so on. But then what do you think are the kind of characteristics? Because only I ask because the curious part seems to pop up quite often in the guests that I've had on. And I'm just wondering if that's becoming a bit of a common trait in people who do pretty well. It's challenging the status quo in a sense, understanding, yes, I accept that, but I also wouldn't mind understanding why. Or
I think,
is there better things to be had?
I think you have to have a certain level of curiosity, because if you don't, you go into something quite close-minded. And you can't go into business and entrepreneurship close-minded. You have to, as one of your main characteristics, desire, progression. And to find progression, you have to be open to new ideas. And to be open to new ideas, you can't be close-minded. So that is certainly one of the key characteristics. I think I've been into companies. Oh, this is just the way John does it. So John's the owner. Or is it the best way? Oh, I don't know. This is just what John's always done, and this is the way he wants it done. Or is that the best for the customer? Is that the best for the business? Are you achieving the right result here? You can't be a stick in the mud.
Yeah.
So I think it probably, maybe this is a better answer. Having an element of curiosity makes you more likely to be a more progressive entrepreneur or a more progressive business owner than somebody that isn't willing to, take on new ideas and develop their skills.
Yeah. And I think would you say as well, with the way the world is going and the speed of which it's changing, that curiosity might be a very good skill to have?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'd agree.
If you're curious and taking in some of the new tools and tech and ideas that are available to you, you will already be leaps and bounds ahead of those that don't.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because it's just, I think it's like when some people say, what's your 5-year plan, 10-year plan? You're like, but if you'd asked me 5 years ago, what's your plan by 2025? It probably would have been a traditional plan in the sense, oh yeah, I'm going to get people to run the office. I'm going to get people to read the systems. Now you've got AI doing the systems. So there's a lot less people. We didn't see that at 2020. So it's almost like the pace which is going at, I think you have to be curious. Everything that comes out, flexible. Can't be a stick in the mud, as you say, like traditions, So
Yeah.
I think to do that, I think those sort of people are going to be the ones that succeed more, perhaps in the coming years for sure.
Prepare to evolve.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. But so with the, I've got here born with it or built with it. I think, would you say, and it's only my assessment of speaking to you, that you kind of built it, your knowledge, the way you are, or do you think there's characteristics you were born with that's perhaps led you down this path to where you are now and become the person you are, with your aggression to learn, the curiosity?
I think it's a development.
Yeah.
I think it's probably more of a development than an inherent. There are characteristics of me that I can probably link back to, much younger life. But my drive now, I think it came from a point of not having the drive that I wanted when I was younger, and I knew the path for me if I didn't make a change, which was going to be, I came out of high school at 16, and even sixth form wasn't a thing when I left high school. So at 16, I came out, got the first job I could, got 300 quid a week in my pocket, and went out and spent it all on, having cars that I couldn't afford. And I think the normal life of
Yeah,
a
that
British
sounds
teenager.
Yeah.
And then you go into a job, and then you do a job, and then you go and get a mortgage, and then that's it forever.
Yeah.
But my curiosity, I think, is one of the things I can link back and, well, hold on, what else is there? Is this just normal? Shall I just go and get a job and work forever and hopefully achieve some sort of retirement?
Yeah.
I don't want to wait that long.
Yeah.
So I need to get curious about how I can solve this problem. The problem being, living the life that I don't want to live, or I might not be satisfied, and being curious about what I would be satisfied with and pursuing it. And I think that's a nice link back to the exit or evolution strategy. If you've got a plan, or so even if you've got a plan of where you don't want to be, you can adapt and evolve. And I had that, not exactly where I wanted to be. I didn't know that, but I knew what I didn't want.
Yeah. Yeah. In some ways, when I speak to people and they go, "Oh, I'm a bit lost. I don't really know what I want," and so on, and it's almost like I say, "Well, what don't you want then?" And what is it? Because it's hard to say what you do want. I don't know. There's so much option, isn't there? There's so much choice nowadays. And you think, well, okay, well, I know we've got so much choice, so much opportunity. Don't necessarily know how to get it or what levers to pull on to get that sort of stuff. So, but what don't you want? What are your dislikes? What do you want to steer clear from? And then you tend to find that it opens up a little bit of a path for you and say, well, I definitely don't want this. Okay, what's the opposite of that then? And then you kind of go from there. And you were curious enough to say, well, actually, I don't really want this life. I want it sooner. And but then I think the aggression and the determination because you use those skills because then you did take a different path.
Mm.
You know, you didn't. A lot of people are just curious and they go to bed that night and they wake up the next day and repeat the same day, and that's it. Don't really do anything.
Yeah.
But you were courageous enough, I guess, and aggressive and all those sort of things to actually take that next step.
Mm. Or at least try and figure out what it looks like.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I think on what you've just said there as well, you can also, I believe now, you can learn more about yourself by what you would say no to than what you would say yes to. And there's another part of this, which when you say no to something, it feels safer. We feel safer saying no than we do saying yes. Saying yes, you have to be bold and brass and confident, and that's not a characteristic of everybody.
yeah,
If you say, well, do you want this then? No, I don't want that. You're more confident saying that, and that will lead you to a yes decision.
yeah, yeah,
That will lead you to what you actually do want.
yeah.
But so saying no is probably more, maybe not more, but just as powerful as being able to confidently say yes to something.
Yeah, I think that probably leans towards this thing that I can't remember where I read it. It was to do with like when you bargain yourself with something, you're bargaining with something, you're leveraging something. Like if you're saying yes to something, you're saying no to something else. So if you're saying I'll drive to work today rather than walk, and walk might be an option. You think, okay, I'm going to drive, but then you're going to drive, you're going to get there quicker, but you're not going to exercise, you're not going to fresh air, you've got time to think. But you might need to get there quicker because of a meeting or you're running late. But it's almost like that's what you're losing out on, is those parts. And it's like, which is you start weighing things up. And I think that's kind of like when you do say yes or no to options, what are you saying yes to? Or the opposite. You know, if you're saying no to something, what are you saying yes to then, in a sense?
Mm.
If you're saying no to going out because you fear that it might be too crowded or whatever, you're saying yes to standing in on your own. And then what would you rather? You know, and if you like to be at home alone, then great, it's a good decision. But
Yeah.
if you're going to regret that, you think, well, maybe say yes to going out there and then say no to staying at home. So it's almost like that opposites, isn't it? Like if you're saying one thing, what are you saying yes or no to kind of balance that out a bit, you know? So like you with your life and saying, okay, right, I don't really want that. You took that step. And you said, okay, well, I'm saying no to that life, but I'm saying yes to headache and pressure of running a business, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Have you also heard it's a sentence which I really quite like, is also what you're not changing, you're choosing.
Yes, yes, yes. I've
And
heard, who said that?
I can't
Do
remember.
we know?
I can't remember, but let's say I invented it.
I think we should. I'll tell
Yeah.
you what. Well, it certainly seems like you got the wisdom to invent something like that. So why not? No, that's really good. It's because they say that, you know, when they go you know, like, well, you got to have a obviously with brand awareness and build your personal brand and that sort of thing, company and personal. But it's like, well, you will have a brand, a personal brand or a company brand. It's whether you choose to design it or whether someone's making it up for you. But you do have one. And now what you're doing is like, you know, you're deciding to do it. Well, actually, I really want to talk it in this way or
Mm-hmm.
say in this way or say nothing. Even well, that's your personal brand. You know, you're quiet and pretty much, you know, like go with the flow kind of person.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's funny that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Those things. But so public speaking,
Okay.
yeah, and progressive business network.
Yes.
Tell me a bit about that. So
I
we've already, sorry, we've spoken about the business, the speaking training, which we know is um, invaluable. But just quickly start there a little bit.
I decided to, and this is an out of the comfort zone thing for me. I
Okay.
decided to embark on. Well, it's not. It's not. I've just got to say that. I decided to do a course on public speaking and presenting.
Yeah.
What I am confident in, or was confident in, is my knowledge and my ability to help and serve. But what I wasn't as confident in is my ability to deliver that in a concise way that everybody else will understand. I know what I'm talking about, but the skill is to make sure that everybody that I'm talking to knows, understands, and can feel what I'm talking about. So I decided that the best way to help me convey my message and get across to people and really make it's all about, for me, it's all about making an impact. If I'm going to impact people's lives in a positive way, I need to know the best way of doing it. That's an evolution thing.
Mm.
So I decided to undertake a public speaking course, and I'm continuing that and will be indefinitely, because that's a skill that for me has made a huge difference, and it's built my confidence, it's built my ability to help and serve, and my desire to do that is great. So I will continue to do so.
Brilliant. Yeah, I totally agree. It's a tool that you have to relay your message to everybody and the vision to your staff, family, friends, and anyone else that you're trying to attract.
Mhm.
So why not sharpen it and
Exactly.
develop it?
Great skill to have. We've all got a voice.
Yeah,
It's just, making sure that you're maximizing the opportunity of your voice.
yeah, definitely. Yeah. And the business network, is that your thing that you started?
It's a launch of a area of an existing event. So the
Right.
Progressive Business Network is part of the progressive ecosystem,
Yeah.
and the business networking is an opportunity for me to join that brand as an area representative near me in Essex, and bring entrepreneurs, business owners into a room to create opportunities for each other. And as we discussed earlier, in this modern day age, I don't think we've ever been so disconnected. To be able to bring people into a room, build real relationships, have real discussions, find and meet people that will enhance and improve and share your business journey with you is an invaluable thing. And if I can offer that, I'm going to jump at the opportunity.
Because that's the thing we spoke of before, isn't it? With the whole AI thing, automations, robots, whatever you want to say. It's holding on to that human element. So the systems, processes, it's you look at your systems and you don't want to eliminate a human element completely because then it makes you, I don't know, I think it loses your personality in a sense of your business.
Mm-hmm.
But likewise for your day to day. And I think us as humans do need that human interaction. So I think that's great with the business networking event, because I think that's going to be invaluable in time to come when everything's got so automated. And like I said, I think it's going to be a period of where we're all going to enjoy things getting done without question. And at some point, we're going to think, "Do you know what? I wouldn't mind meeting up with a couple of people, And I think for you to have that is really good and invaluable.
Well, I've seen the difference it's made for me, to be in a room of your peers and people that are above you, people that are below you, people that have got opportunities for you, people that know people that you might want to meet.
Yeah,
You don't get to do that all day in front of YouTube or ChatGPT.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And to grow and evolve and to learn and to be curious, you still need to meet people that are on your wavelength and on a similar journey to you. So to be able to bring those people into a room and facilitate that, yeah, great, fantastic.
yeah, yeah. I totally agree. So, what do you reckon the next 5 years hold for Chris and SME?
So for me, because I found this balance of what I love doing, who I love doing it with. It doesn't feel like a chore.
Mm,
So at the moment, I'm quite happy to just explore and see where that takes me.
yeah,
And to be able to continue to refine, continue to improve, continue to help and serve, I'll adapt and evolve along the way. Sure, I will. But the purpose that I'm setting out to achieve, and I've put a number on this to make it tangible. I plan over the next, say, call it 5 years, because that's probably about the right time frame, to have a positive impact and to help in some way 10,000 small business owners in the UK. Be that through some sort of coaching, some sort of network event, some sort of training. I do webinar workshops as well. If I can reach 10,000 people and have a positive impact, I'll be a very happy guy.
mm. I think that's a good goal to have because on your systems, I think that's going to help a lot of people. And the fact that you've been there and done it as well, I think speaks volumes about what you're actually trying to say. Because I know as a business owner that all of those systems are spot on and they would really, really work if you implemented all of them to a good level. I know there's always room for improvement. As you said, you're always developing, always improving. So to have all six perfectly planned out, I think probably near on impossible. But if you're working towards and mindful of them
Mm,
and working towards it getting better every day, then I think you're going to be in a very good position.
completely agree.
Yeah.
And also, like I said, progression, it's not about perfection, it's about progression.
Yeah.
Something I say to my kids now, they repeat this back to me. They say, Daddy, a 10 out of 10 doesn't exist.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the search. It's the search for that 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
And once you've built the systems in which you can do business and the systems in which you run your life, your job really is to find ways to evolve and improve the systems.
Yeah.
And that's a level of curiosity, that's a level of evolution that will never be finished, in my opinion. Because if you ever reach the point where you tell me you can't make that 0.5% better, I'm going to call you a liar.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. That's it. Well, if you've got the likes of Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and all that, constantly looking to improve, then there's a lot of room for improvement for us.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Chris, where can people find you?
At the moment, in a podcast studio just
Okay.
outside Southwest London.
Where best to get in touch with you? Should have worded that a bit better.
So I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn. I don't know I think it's Chris Archer /SME. I'm online. You can find my website at www.smesuccess.co.uk.
Yeah.
And in Chelmsford, or if you're in the Essex area, you'll find me at a business networking event very soon. And that's about it, really. But I'm around.
Yeah.
I'm around. I'm available.
Chris, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on. And I'll tell you what, you've actually taught me a few things
I'm glad.
in these 6 steps. I mean, that's amazing.
I'm glad.
It's really
Blessed to be.
deep. Yeah, and it's been brilliant. So thank you very much for coming.
My pleasure.
Yeah, look forward to meeting you soon.